Hari Om to all the Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. So we are here back with another session of Manana on Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter at Dharma Kshetra Gita Study Circle. So let us start with the prayer of the Dhyana Shlokas of the Gita. Suma?
Yeah. Om Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Rutavarshini Bhagavati Astadashadhyayini Ambatvamanusandadhami bhagavadgite bhavatveshini namostute vyasavishala buddhe pullaravindayatapatra yena tvaya bharata tailapurnaha prajvalito gnanamaya pradipah Prapanna parijataya totra vetraikapanaye gnanamudraya krishnaya Gitamrutaduhe namaha sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopalanandanaha partho vatsat sudhir bhokta dugdham gitamrutam mahat Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadronatata Jayadratha Gandharani Lotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivarthaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vachasa Saroja Mamalam Gītātthagandotkatam Nānakhyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaha Raha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhoyad Bharata Pankaja Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangul Langayate Girim Yet Krupatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangapatkramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yayoginaha Yasyantanna Vidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha.
Yes, very beautiful. So we shall go ahead with the we shall chant this preceding shloka first, which we have dwelt at length, and then go to the next one. So this is the core of 18th chapter. This is the main message of the 18th chapter, which is Om Tat Sad. Om Tat Sad iti nirdesho brahmanas-trividah smrutah brahmanastena vedascha yajñascha vihitah pura. Okay. Somebody chant this and share the meaning also, what we have done manana on this, a little bit of it. You can please share. Padmaja, you want to do that? Om Tat Saditi Nirdesho Brahmanas Trivida Smrutah ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिताः पुरा.
ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशो ब्राह्मणास्त्रिविधिता विधा.
Brahmana. See, that's the thing. First line alli, it is Brahma. Second line, Trivida.
ब्रह्मणास्त्रिविधा स्मृता ब्राह्मणस्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिता पुरा.
So, what is this verse saying?
The words Om Tat Sat have been declared as symbolic representations of the supreme absolute truth from the beginning of creation. From them came the priests, scriptures, and sacrifice.
So, briefly, what have you understood? Share.
Understood? Om Tat Sat is that, complete truth or complete representation of everything. So those are the magic words of life.
Yes. So it was chanted, it was uttered by Brahmaji himself in the beginning of creation. And especially what was he creating? He was creating the Brahmanaha. Brahmana is not a caste thing. So Brahmana is one who is sattvic person in society. Brahmanaha, Vedaha. Vedas are the user manuals. So it's not just enough to create something, create the Brahmana. He should know how to lead his life. So the Vedas were created, the user manuals. And then yajnaha. So how to go about doing, practicing what has been preached in the Vedas. So these three things are very, very important. Brahmanaha, Vedaha, Yajñascha. We should know, first of all, we should be sattvic, Brahmanas. That means we are aligned to the purpose of life and to the purpose of the universe itself. that person is called a Brahmana. And then, so what should I do with my life? All the Vedas, the user manual is there. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, the Pancha Yagnas, all that, you do this, the do's and don'ts are given by the Vedas. And Yagna is how to do it. The actual doing part of it is given in the Yagna. See, so it's so beautiful. It's a package that Brahmaji created with the words, Pavani words, Om Tat Sat. Okay. Then what happened? So we discussed the meanings of Om and Tat. And Sat also we have discussed, but there is more to Sat, which we are doing it right now. This is the next verse, 17.27. Yajñe tapasi dāne cha sthitiḥ sad iti chochyate karma chaiva tad-arthīyaṁ sad iti evābhidhīyate. Yajñe tapasi dāne cha sthitiḥ sad iti chochyate karma chaiva tad-arthīyaṁ evābhidhīyate. Yes, we can all chant one by one. Suma?
Yeah. Yajñe tapasi dāne cha sthitiḥ saditi chochyate karma chaiva tad-arthīyaṁ sadit evābhidhīyate.
Correct. Jayshree Prasad? Jayshree, can you chant? Okay, next. Heli, Jayshree.
Yajñe tapasi dāne cha sthitiḥ sadati chochyate karma chaiva tad-arthīyaṁ sthitiḥ. Kannada ka
Padmaja.
Yajñe tapasi dāne cha sthitiḥ saditi chochyate karma chaiva tad-arthīyaṁ sthitiḥ.
Okay. Kamala?
Um, 1 minute. Purnimaji.
No. Okay, fine.
यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थितिः सदिति चोच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयं सदित्येवाभिधीयते.
Yes, Ramaji.
यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थितिः सदिति चोच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयं सदित्येवाभिधीयते.
Very nice. Shweta? You want to go?
ज्ञाने तपसि दाने च स्थितिः सत् इति चोच्यते कर्म चैव
Tad-arthīyaṁ
तदर्थीयं सद् इत्ये.
evābhidhīyate.
Can you just tell me
Sat
that?
iti
Sat iti
eva
eva
abhidhīyate.
abhiriyate.
Yes. So, what is the shloka saying? Being established in the performance of yajña, sacrifice, tapas, penance, dāna, charity, is also described by the word sat. Sat means yajña. Sat means tapas. Sat means dāna. Everything is called sat. So, any act for such purposes is named as sat. It is so beautiful. Sat is not just existence per se. All these meanings are loaded into this beautiful term, sat. And see, in our experience only, we use many words with starting from sat. Can you share? Can you think of words which start from sat?
Sadguna.
Sadguna. Very good. Sadguna. Amale?
Satpurusha.
Satpurusha. Excellent. See? Many.
Satsanga.
Satsanga. Satsanga. Satpurusha. Sadguna. Satkarya.
Sadguru.
Sadguru. Correct. That is the pure, regular sat over there. Ithara. So, sat has got many meanings which is used in everyday life. I have put on, number one, sadbhava. Sad represents reality itself, existence itself. So, sadbhava is a term associated with the sat, which means what? What is sadbhava? Sadbhava is a term we must have used in our conversations. What is the meaning of sadbhava? Now that we know, we have heard, we have learned this verse and the meaning of sat, what should be the meaning of sadbhava? Sadbhava. First of all, what is the general meaning of sadbhava?
Truthful words spoken without malice.
Bhava, not
Bhava,
speech
bhava.
also.
Feeling.
When we bless somebody or when we wish somebody well, it is with sadbhava, with lot of love, and we mean it from the heart. It comes, alva. Whatever comes from the heart with a pure intention is called as sadbhava. Now, according to this verse and what the commentary is given by Prabhuji and all the masters, sadbhava means whenever I am looking at existence itself, it should remind me of sat. The bhava, when I see anything, should remind me of existence itself. That is sadbhava. That's the thing, no? In the Vibhuti Yoga, that's what the Lord says. I am everything. So now I should always abide in sadbhava. Whenever I see anything, a piece of paper lying on the floor, sadbhava. That is sat. That is existence. That kind of bhava has to come in me when I say sat. It's a very loaded term. When I see flower, what comes? The name and the form, the flower. But behind the name and the form, Sat, Sadbhava. The flower is. Me, I am Purnima. Purnima Nikalo. I am Sadbhava. Just pure Sat. So, existence plus name and form is the world. Pure existence is Sadbhava. We have to look at, we should make it a habit to look at the world around us with Sadbhava. Okay. In fact, in the Vedas it is said, don't even let any other speech come to your lips except Sat. Anya vacha vimunchata. Talk only Vedantic truths. Don't talk anything else. So now that we know Om Tat Sat and we know that and Ma, in all our words are in between and Ma, which is Om. When we abide in that bhava, all that we talk will be only Vedanta. It is very simple. It's not that we have to talk only the verses per se. But whenever we are talking, whenever we are seeing, whenever that abiding in Sat is life, nothing more. And the second meaning of Sat is truth, Satya. Satya, truth. Truth from all angles. Truth is to be integrated in Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. Alignment is called as Satya. So when I'm aligned with in my bhavana, in my speech, there will be no space for asatya at all. Truth, Satya, Sat. And then Sat is also used to indicate goodness. Goodness, sadhu bhava, Satpurusha, good man. He's a good man, he's a Satpurusha. So there also Sat is used. And then another meaning of Sat is another way we use Sat is auspicious. Auspicious, can you think of words to indicate something auspicious, some auspicious act? Satkarya, Satkarma. No? These are the words that we use for good acts, auspicious. And then Sannishtha, Satnishtha, Sannishtha. One who is steady, whose Shraddha is steady. Steady in what? Again, it's steady in yajña and in tapas and in dhyana. Whatever I do, all the austerities that I take up as a sadhana, I should be very steady in it. Nishtha should be there. Shraddha should be there. That is called Sannishtha. So there also Sat is coming. And all that a karma that I do, selfless karma, I am doing for the sake of him or tad-arthīyaṁ. What is the, this one? Yeah. Yajñe tapasi dāne cha sthitiḥ sthitiḥ chochyate karma chaiva tad-arthīyaṁ. Whatever all the karma, yajna, tapas, dana, and all these karmas that I do, for whom? For tad. What is tad? What is tat? Om Tat Sat. Tat is God. Tat is Brahman. Tat is truth. When I do everything as a worship of God, that is Sat. Satkarya. Everything will become Tat. So all my actions will be performed as a worship of the Lord. Those actions are also called as Sat. So from morning till evening, how many actions that I do, including speech, thought, kaya, vacha, manasa, am I doing as a worship of the Lord? If I am, then my whole life will be a worship, will be Sat. If I don't, then yes, there is need for course correction. So it might be a little difficult for us to completely be immersed in all our actions from top to bottom as a worship of the Lord. So very compassionately, God has given us this little chant that we can utter at the end, at least at the end of each act. Say Om Tat Sat. That should take care of, cover up all the imperfections in our actions. I am sure now we have passed the stage of not having sadbhavana while doing work. We are all having sadbhavana to whatever work we are doing. But if in between I forget to worship it as a worship of God, then I chant Om Tat Sat at the end, and then I'm good. So mere action will not work. See, what happens with mere action, mere doing my duties? What is the use of such duties? What happens if I do not invoke the name of God when I'm acting in the world? Simple question. We are going back to chapter 3. Come on. Is it any good acting without worshipping, with the worshipful nature, with worship, without the worshipful attitude? If I work, what is the use of such work? What are the consequences of the karma?
We create our prarabdha karma.
Correct. It is just a karma. It is not satkarma. Yes, Suma.
Yeah, the results of those actions also affect us when we keep in God and we worship, like whatever Ishvara Arpita, whatever actions I do, it's, towards God, then the results won't affect so much.
Correct. So when I invoke God and offer it to God and do it, it becomes karma yoga.
Yeah.
Simple. Otherwise, what all I have been doing all my lifetimes is just karma, which gives a karma phala. When I invoke God and I offer it to God and I do it with sadbhava, even if it's not perfect, maybe I'm not perfect in my work as per, excellent job. But still, when my bhava is sadbhava, it becomes karma yoga. Simple. It's a very, very simple formula that God has given. Just chant my name and do your work and I'll take care of you. That's it. Then there's this problem of asat. Now we have all seen what is sat. Then what is asat? Everything opposite is asat. So this is another shloka. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapas taptam krutam chayat asadityuchyate partha nacha tat pretya no iha. Okay. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapas taptam kritam chayat asaditi uchyate partha nacha tat pretya no iha. Yes. You want to chant?
Yeah. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam krutam chayat asate partha nacha tat pretya no iha.
Okay. Next, anyone?
अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यात् असदित्युच्यते पार्थः पचतत्रैत्यनो इह.
Yarappa.
I'll go for it. अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तत्त्वं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत् प्रेत्य नो इह.
Very good. Padmaja, Kamala.
श्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत्प्रेत्य नो इह.
अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते. Sorry, pronunciate
Asad,
that one.
asad iti uchyate partha.
असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत्प्रेत्यनो इह.
Yeah. ಆಮೇಲೆ only Shweta.
अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपसा तपसत् तप्तं कृतं च यत् अत्सत् इति उच्यते पार्थ न च तत् प्रेत्य नो इह.
See, what is being said about asat? Sat all we have discussed at length. But now Bhagavan is saying, describing exactly what is asat. O Partha, Pritha, son of Pritha is Partha. So whenever Bhagavan is feeling very loving towards Arjuna, he calls him Partha. Whenever he wants to invoke valor in him, he will say Dhananjaya, Mahabaho, all these things, all these adjectives he uses for Arjuna. So now he's very lovingly telling Arjuna, whatever acts of sacrifice, Hutam, Dattam, charity, Tapas Taptam, the austerity is done, Kritam, done, without Shraddha, Ashraddhaya. Without Shraddha, anything I do, sacrifice, charity, austerities, tapas, anything that I do without Shraddha, asaditi uchyate. They are called as asad, exactly opposite of sat. They are useless, Papa. These acts, nachatat pretya no iha. They are useless in this world, iha, or in any other world, pretya. In the next world also, it is not useful. So whatever acts I do without Shraddha in this world, they are not going to help me in the next world also. I have to come back to this world to set things right and act as per the scriptures, whatever has been given, whatever Bhagavan has told me, I have to act like that. Otherwise, it's no use. Asat is something which is the literal meaning of the term asat is non-existent. Sat is existence, asat is non-existent. That means whatever done is waste. What we call as ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮ ಮಾಡಿದ ಹಾಗೆ. When I pour oblation, ಅಗ್ನಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? We have to do homa into the agni only. If I do it in water, it's useless. It becomes asat. It's gone. There is no phala for me. So this is not as simple as it sounds. Look at our own life. We'll find that so many things we do as asat. For example, I decide to join yoga class and I start doing Surya Namaskara. So many names of the Lord are chanted. Surya's name, Om Mitraya Namaha. Am I paying attention to the shloka? Am I really invoking the sun god when I'm doing the Surya Namaskara? I have to, introspect and see where asat is happening in my life. It can be scary also if I think too much about it. And especially this yoga in the West, they have stripped it of all the shlokas. Don't even call it yoga, And the asana names, our asana names are also so beautiful. All that they have to change into English. So I don't know. Maybe that is asat. Hello? Hello, am I back? So I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
There was an internet problem. Okay, so that is asat is what done is without Shraddha. And there's a very, very famous example which is quoted by all the, all the acharyas when they are discussing the shloka. When that ship Titanic was built, it was a marvelous piece of engineering marvel. The Titanic was an engineering marvel, the biggest of its times. And all the architects and the engineers, when they finished, when they completed, when it was ready to sail, they said, even God cannot break this ship. Even God cannot break this ship. That was the statement and the confidence. You don't even say arrogance. That was the confidence of the engineers who built the ship. So what happened there? It sank. Asat happened. Without invoking God or without a feeling of gratitude or, I'm dhanya, the dhanyata bhava should be there. Oh, God has given me this, this intelligence to do this. I'm so grateful. I'm an instrument. Through me, this ship has been built. That kind of bhavana was not there. Instead, it was replaced by arrogance. Even God cannot break the ship. So, unfortunately, it was proven to be asat. It was an action without Shraddha. What a beautiful ship. What a great ship. But no Shraddha. It was a deed which was done without invoking God. Total waste of time and energy and resources, and lives were lost. So this is the example of asat. Okay. What else? I think this is what 17th chapter is all about. We can go to the 18th chapter. We can start with some introduction. Okay, let me see what we have for 18th chapter. Okay, this is the 18th chapter is the longest chapter in Bhagavad Gita. How many verses? How many verses anyone knows in 18th chapter? The longest. What's the title of the 18th chapter? Can anyone tell? 18th chapter is titled the Moksha Sannyasa.
Moksha Sannyasa Yoga.
Correct, correct. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. It is the longest chapter with 78 verses. 78 verses. So while chapter 2 was actually chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita was over because the entire dāna was given in chapter 2. It was called what? Chapter 2 title is what?
Sankhya Yoga.
Sankhya Yoga, which is also Sankhya translated as Jnana Yoga. Everything was given in Sankhya Yoga. You are not the body, you are not Nanu Nanem Buddha Nanalla, you are Shiva. Everything was given in chapter 2. Over, done. But chapter 2 is considered as a summary. It is giving us a bird's eye view of what is to come in the Gita. Summary of prospect. And then chapter 18 is called as a summary of retrospect. What all Bhagavan has told us, he is going to recap for us everything. Look at the patience of Bhagavan. So chapter 2 is a statement of intent. It is telling us this is all we are going to study, and in chapter 18, we are going to recall all that has been studied. It is upasamhara. Everything has been again recalled for us in bullet points. So either we study chapter 2 and be enlightened, or we go through the entire Gita, come to chapter 18, then again practical instruction manual, again we go through everything. What all did we study? Everything. Jnana, bhakti, dhyana, kriya, what have you, yajña, everything is there in chapter 18. So we know this breakup of the Gita into 666, Tattvamasi, that we know very well. The first 6 chapter is all about Tvam, means me, Arjuna. What am I? Jiva. Then the second 6th chapter is about Tat, about God, the glories of the God, glories of Bhagavan and all that. Last 6 about Asi, the both God and me are one. This is the formula generally given by Advaitins, how they break up the chapters. Then there is another breakup, which is Karma, Bhakti, Jnana. If you notice, the first 6 chapters are about Karma, second 6 about Bhakti, and then Jnana. That is how they break up. So many ways of looking at the Gita, trying to giving it a structure. But I wonder when Gita was being, when Arjuna was receiving the instruction, all this was in Krishna's mind. It's all our, and the way we are breaking it up for our, to simplify it for our effort. Okay. So, from chapter 2 to chapter 18, is there a change in Arjuna? How was Arjuna in chapter 2? What was he doing? What was Arjuna's manobhava in chapter 2?
He was lamenting that he did not want to wage a war against his own people, killing them.
Yes.
So he was very much not confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was shaking, his hands were shaking, his bow and arrow fell from his hands and he sank on the ground. He said, okay, relieve me, I want to go run away, become a sannyasi. So that was chapter 2's Arjuna. At the end of chapter 18, we will come to know that Arjuna was ready to fight with full confidence. So that is the change that happened through the Gita. That should be the change that has happened in us as well. It's not about Arjuna. It's about you and me, right? So has that change come in me? Some change, I'm sure, has come.
Some change, definitely, yes.
Definitely, because we were not thinking about what will happen to us if we don't follow certain rules and certain karmas and tyagas we have to do, sacrifices we have to do. That we were not aware. After going through this, it's my experience.
Correct.
I feel some sort of sacrifice should be there and should not lament for things that go beyond our control. Yeah.
Super. That is the prasada buddhi. Whatever is done. Prasada, God will give. It is not in my hands. Yeah. Most important lesson in life. Oh my God, that's the one single lesson also. If I catch on to that, it's enough. Isn't it? The whole point, whole life we spend in regrets. Unnecessary. Ishvara prasada buddhi should be there. Very nice. Anyone else? What has the change come in me, the Arjuna, after all this? Again, I'm gone.
Sadbhava.
Sadbhavana. Has it come into your life?
Earlier, it used to be just karma. I used to do it. I used to do the work. Oh, ಇವಳಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. I used to do the work. Now, they ಐಶ್ವರಾರ್ಪಿತಂ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಕೆಲಸನ.
Beautiful, Jayashree. Beautiful. Yes.
Naham karta, naham bhokta. Like I'm not the doer. Everything surrendered to the Bhagavan.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Then?
We want Nirmala to say something.
She's not here today.
Oh.
Last week, we all, like piled on her. Papa, now she has not come. Let us see. I'll call her later. Anyone wants to share anything about how the Arjuna has changed from 2 to 18? Please, you are welcome to share now. Change in me. Yes, Padmaja.
Don't know Arjuna has changed or not. We have changed, Purnima.
Arjuna changed. He's ready to fight. He fought the war, didn't he?
Yeah, that's correct. But it's all for us, maybe.
Yeah. So since he is the hero of this Bhagavad Gita, invoking his name. Good. Okay. So I assume all of us have changed, whatever little change or big change. Wonderful. So now just bird's eye view of what is in the 18th chapter. Again, Krishna tells us about what is Tyaga, what is Sannyasa, what is Karma, what is Jnana, what is Karta, who is a Karta, then what is Buddhi, what is Dhriti. Dhriti is that steadfastness, and Nirbhaya is Dhruti. What is Sukha? All these terms are bitsy, 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 bitsy. Again, God has told in the chapter 18. And all these terms that I just recited, Tyaga, Sannyasa, Jnana, Karma, Kriya, Buddhi, Dhriti, Sukha, all these are divided into again Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. For in everything, the three divisions are there. And the aim is to go from Tamasic to Rajasic to Satvik, ultimately, in whatever I do. And then another main theme of this chapter is the 4 castes and their duties, Chaturvarna. That is there. Chaturvarna is again has come. The most controversial topic of Chaturvarna is there. And then there are more descriptions about Sankhya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Buddhi Yoga. And then the importance of this teaching is given again by the Lord. And again, some assurances, promises. When you listen to me, this will happen, that will happen. We'll see some of those verses. And then there's a grand conclusion by Sanjaya. The last word, imagine, has been given to Sanjaya. The last word is not by Krishna or Arjuna. It is by Sanjaya, the Duradarshi, who was narrating all this to Dhritarashtra and therefore to us. So this is what is waiting for us in this chapter 18. So some of the key highlights is this chapter starts with Arjuna asking Krishna again. See, imagine, even to ask questions. Do we have any questions left actually? After all this, do we have any questions left to ask Krishna? Everything seems to have been covered completely. Yet Arjuna has a question. And he asks, again, tell me, what is the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa? This is how the chapter starts. Arjuna asks Krishna, tell me again, my dear friend, what is the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa? Can we answer that? Is there a difference in the first place? Just dwell on it. Tyaga, Sannyasa. What's the difference?
What I understood is Tyaga means whatever we do, it should not be taken to ourselves. Should be given to the
That is Tyaga.
God. Yeah, that is Tyaga. Sannyasa means relinquishing everything in life. Sannyasa.
Okay. In the earlier one, what did we do? In what was the difference between the two things you said? Sorry, I didn't catch.
Tyaga means we offer something and we should not take it to ourselves. We should give it to in the name of God.
Okay.
And we have to sacrifice many things for the sake of society, for the sake of others.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? What is Tyaga? What is Sannyasa? Is there a difference in the first place? Any thoughts? Okay.
Tyaga comes about in the daily life while still being in the grihastha right?
Okay.
Whereas sannyasa is beyond grihastha.
Okay. That is one understanding.
No, sannyasa, Prabhuji says, samyak nyasa iti sannyasa.
Very correct.
So,
In
it
that,
is
yeah.
not, yeah, it is not that you being in the householder, whatever he does without in selfless attitude and without any result, that
Correct.
is sannyasa.
Correct. Sanyat nyasa. Nyasa is to keep, to deposit. Nyasa is deposit. No, even in maths, when we accounts, nyasa is something. It's a deposit, fixed deposit. Samyak, where do you deposit it? That is sannyasa. Correct, Kamala. Thank you. And what is tyaga?
And I feel both the similarity is surrender in both, Purnimaji.
Okay. Okay, that is also that sannyasa is perfectly you said. Here in this chapter, we come to know that there's a difference between tyaga and sannyasa. It's for us as grihasthas, it's easy to do some kind of tyaga. Like we go to Varanasi, Kashi, and we give up something and come. I will not eat jalebis. Tyaga. Giving up something is tyaga. That is a kind of discipline we impose upon ourselves. Today, I will not sleep, and I'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'll meditate. So you're giving up that 3 hours of sleep, tyaga. To give up action itself is called tyaga. This tyaga can be done out of disgust also. You know, some vairagya will come. It is called smashana vairagya or prasava vairagya. You know, then when something disturbs me too much, I'll say, okay, never again. I'll not do this again. This is called as tyaga. So it happens very many times in our lives. It is a kind of temporary sannyasa. I will not do it. Give it up. When I give up doing something out of tyaga means renunciation. To give up is the meaning of tyaga is to give up. When I give up something without the right understanding or without the right intention, or not out of genuine vairagya, but this temporary vairagya, I give up certain actions. Oh, it's no use helping society. Kutte ka dum, dog's tail will never be straightened. I will never do anything for the world. That kind of tyaga, born out of disgust. All that is this temporary kind of this thing that is called as tyaga. Renunciation of work, renunciation of karma is called as tyaga. That is what Krishna says. Whereas sannyasa is, like Kamala beautifully said, renunciation of karma phala is sannyasa. Renunciation of work itself is tyaga. Renunciation of karma phala is sannyasa. So Arjuna was ready for tyaga, like most of us. When we are faced with a difficult situation, we are ready for tyaga. We want to run away. But here, Krishna is giving very clear instruction. Tyaga is it's fine in its place, because you should have a discussion also. There's a time when you have to take the call, okay, I will not do this. But here, sannyasa is what is being recommended by Krishna for all of us. It's not about grihastha ashrama or this ashrama or that ashrama. It's about renunciation of karma phala is sannyasa. So easily, sannyasa is course. It's the best option for anybody. Sannyasa is what is the way to go. Yeah, and then the next verse that we take up is about Chaturvarna. Always there's a conflict about this Chaturvarna, how to explain it to people. That is one of the greatest accusations against the Gita. Oh, God has given us 4. This caste system has come from the Gita. All these accusations are there. We will see how false that is, and what a limited understanding. That kind of argument comes with very limited understanding. We'll explore all that in the next class. Hardly some few shlokas are selected, because again, it's all a revision only. And so we can wrap it up in some time. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ, ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. ಲೋಕಾಃ ಸಮಸ್ತಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. हरिः ओम्. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम्. तत्सत्. कृष्णार्पणमस्तु.